Okay, we're back, and we're ready for the next, for the last part, and that's the universe mode. But this is, basically it works just like the 2013 one, but with a lot of changes. So many, in fact. I mean, I can go on and on, but I think I'll just cover some of the basics. Let's see. There's the power rankings that you can look at. You can just look at the overall power rankings, but this is just an artificial thing. You can edit it if you want, but it's very superficial though. And let's see, you can go to My Universe. You can like look at the news and look at what happened since the last show. You can look at rivalries, and you can set rivalries. Like, for example, there's one between Mario and Donald Trump, of all things. Then there's Honky Tonk Man and there's the Honky Tonk Man and the Macho Man on the left and right, respectively. And of course, anyone who's a wrestling fan knows how much that has happened. And then there's Mr. Rogers and Bruno Sammartino. Um, but yeah, you can make your own rivalry, or you can just artificially let the game do it for you. But if you have a pre-existing one, you can do that. And then there's also potential rivalries. You can start it or you can delete it if you feel it's unnecessary. But again, it's up to you. And then there's, but yeah, you can do this for every show that you have, which I thought was pretty cool. And then there's the championships for the purposes of My Universe. So some of these championships are the actual championships that come with the game, and then others are ones that I got off of community creations, and some are ones that I created myself. Let's see. Like there's like I got an all brand world champion just because I thought, you know, you need something like that. And then there's the ECW titles. If you have an ECW superstar, and you can just put it on them. The Gift of the Gods, that's a custom belt. The Hardcore title. And then there's one I got, the Internet Championship, which looks pretty badass if I do say so myself. And the $1 Million Championship, I remember using that in the 2011 and 2012 versions of the games. Then there's the NWA titles and the Television Championship. The NXT titles, especially for all you NXT fans out there. And then there's the Tag Team Championship and Women's Championship on Monday Night Raw. And then this one I got the Pure Championship from Ring of Honor. That's going to be a special one. I'll tell you more about that in much greater detail, but I'm just showcasing this off right now. There's the SmackDown Tag Team and Women's Championships. But I got myself the Undisputed Women's Championship just because I want an all-purpose Women's Championship, among other things. Then there's the WCW titles. If you want to use them, you can. Including the NWO one if you want to bring back the NWO. And then this one I made myself, the Women's Tag Team Championship. It just says exactly what it means. And then there's the World title. And then there's the Best World Tag Team Championship look. I like that look, as well as this one, but for the older teams. There's the WWE title, which I'll probably keep if I feel it's necessary. And then there's the other WWE championships, as well as the Winged Eagle one. And then there's this one, the one that I always think of the old World Wrestling Federation that I remember and know and love. The Cruiserweight title, as well as its older variant, the old Divas Championship, the European title, and then the Intercontinental titles you can use. And then there's the lightweight title, the light heavyweight title that I used last season. And then there's, again, more tag team titles. And then a television championship. I'll explain more about that in greater detail. And then there's a United Kingdom title. And then there's the United States title, Universe title, as well as the Women's Championship, as well as a Classic World Wrestling Federation World Tag Team title, and then the 24/7 title, which is one I made myself. And those are just the championships I'm going to use. I'm not going to use all of them, but I'll use a good chunk of them. And then, what else? And then the shows, I'll explain more in greater detail, but you can have up to 6 at a time. And let's see, so yeah, you would have to set up the shows this way on the calendar and edit from that point on. And when you edit, well, first you press in this case, the triangle, and then you press X to edit, and you can just enter the details of the show. The details of the show will take you to the create a show format, and you can not only will you have the name, but you'll have a location, show music, which you don't hear because, again, I turned off the music. And you can pick whatever referee that you want. Like, for example, you can select the type of referee that you want to have in the universe mode, which I'll do this guy right here. And then there's a general purpose. Oh yeah, the commentary just mimics what the show is all about. And then there's a screen filter, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, this is, I may as well show this while I have a chance. When you have it off, it's at standard. But then you also have filters like 8-bit, which kind of looks, it's not that good. Vintage, vignette, which I think it's for I don't know what that's all about. Bad VHS, if you wanted to make it look as if it was recorded on a VHS, that you can do that if you wanted. Sepia, I don't even know why this is even an option, but I guess if you wanted to make it look like the Wild West, you could. Black and white, that's perfect if I wanted to, like, do a match, like, back in time, like back in the days of black and white television. If you wanted to do that, you can do that. Then there's a filter for, like, the 1980s, one for the 90s, and then one for the late 90s. But I'll stick with late 80s though, or the 80s though, and then you can pick the arena. And usually you want to try to pick an arena that matches what your show is all about, as well as the options that come with this. Let me see. Let me change a few things here. If there's anything I can change, I'll do it. Okay, I'll just leave it like that. But like the mashup screen, the transition, the replay, the etc. design, and the show load, and the watermark, and the show image. These are things you can pick whatever you want on them. But you can do that. That's something you can do, and that's kind of what Bob Ross was talking about whenever he does paintings, is that it's your world. You can make it anything you want. And then the participants, and I may as well show you how to do this one. It's most especially important for all. Like, you just go on all, and then depending on what kind of show it is, you can either add them or subtract them. If you add them, they'll be added to the roster. And if you remove them, they won't be on the roster. It's as simple as that. You just have to pick, again, whatever superstars you believe belong on your show, put them on there. And some people can overlap. Like you can have a couple of people be on more than one show, but you just have to pick them. That's all you have to do. And then you can set however many matches you can have, like up as at least 5 to as many as 7 if you want. I'll leave it at 5 for now. And you can set like whatever the World Championship is, the secondary title, the tag team title, and the women's title. And that just sets the major championships. Same thing with this one. I'll just show you really quickly. And this one. And then there's also a minor show, which you can select up to 2 host shows. Like I can take this one off and put this one on, or at least 2 shows. No more than 3 though. Yeah, you can only have up to 2. But we'll just leave it at that for now. And you can also select however many matches you want, as little as 3 to up to 7. But that's if you want. But of course, on Sundays, you can change the name, and you can also have the pay-per-view match theme. Like, you can have the pay-per-view. Like, if you pick this, the matches will be just like the pay-per-view. Like, if the Royal Rumble was picked, the last match would always be the Royal Rumble. And then you could also pick which shows will host it. But unfortunately, you can only pick up to 2. So you have to be very careful with that. But that's, let's see what else. And then if you just go in here, let's see. Yeah, you can just look at who's going to be fighting who, as well as the match detail, like who's going to fight who, as well as you can edit the show. And when you edit the show, you can just add or take away or replace anybody that you feel should not be there, or you could just let it be. But again, it's all up to you. And with that, that's going to do it for this presentation. And I hope I didn't bore you guys to tears, but I wanted to show you some of the things you can do in the 2018 version that you couldn't do in the 2013 variation of it. So that's going to do it for this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to do more videos like this. Until then, this is Tiju22 signing off. Have a good day, everybody.